Well, afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Back again. Obviously, we're back at the boat. It is September, the weekend of September 10th, so significantly cooler than it was last time we were here. Leaves are starting to turn. You can definitely tell that fall's here. Winter will be right around the corner. It's the way it goes in Oklahoma. It doesn't ease you into anything, especially this part of it. It just kind of, you go from the devil's ass crack hot one day to, you don't walk out your sweater and trying to drown you the next day. So we're back here at the boat and getting some things done. We were here the other day, and I forgot to bring the camera. Well, I did bring the camera, but it was dead, so I had to take it home, recharge it. I worked a little bit more on the air conditioning unit. We did, like I said before, we're trying to find the seacock, which we did find. Not where it was supposed to be, but then again, where it is actually makes a lot of sense. So, and where it is, it's actually inside the rear cabin, that little back cubby space back here against the bulkhead. It's not actually in. If you read the literature, where that is supposed to be, it's actually supposed to be here in the engine compartment, right next to the starboard engine's seacock. Well, it ain't there. So we were trying to figure out where it was, and we got to lifting everything up. And again, it's one of those things, we're discovering things. I just bought this boat, and I'm discovering things about it every day. And we found a space there in this back cubby hole, which is, they call it the breakfast nook. There's also doubles in the sleeping compartment. And that's what we've been using it for. The wind here. We got looking around, and sure enough, we found the seacock. And it's also got a strainer on it, and it looks like all the water lines and electrical lines. Problem is, now electrical lines got power going, so we got to figure that out. But we've also figured out, and we mocked up the EC unit, how we're going to mount it in there and whatnot. And then it's kind of right out of town. What I'm doing here today is I actually finally got the boat registered, and I got new registration numbers. This boat did have the numbers on it, but they were old, and it was just that black gloopy looking gunk that you saw on the side of the boat on both sides. And I got one of the eraser wheel dealies, and I've already got that taken off. Then I remembered I want to record all this stuff. I know. And beat me up later. But anyway, I remembered, so I'm going to get the camera set up, so when I go to put the new numbers on, you guys can see what I'm doing. Once we get done with that, then we'll go down below, and I'll show you what's going on there. Then I think that's pretty much it for now. I got to go to work tomorrow. My buddy's got to work tomorrow. In fact, he's working today. He's got to work tomorrow. And like I said, I got to go to work tomorrow. In fact, I'm getting ready to take off. I'm going out to Washington State and back. So I'll be gone for about a week. But when we get back, we got plans of diving back into this thing. What we decided was, I think the priority is going to be the AC unit, and then the freshwater. Freshwater is going to be, I think we've discovered, looking around, we've figured out where all that was, the pump, and the heater, and the accumulator tank, and all that, where it was supposed to go. This wind is something else today. Letting it calm down here a little bit. So anyway, I want to cut it off here. I'll get you set up when get out there, just put these decals on, and I'll come back to you. Alright, well, here we're back. This is what we're up to. As you can see, that right there is where the old decals, so registration sticker and registration numbers were at. On the other side, they were actually up on here. So I think I'm actually going to move them. And I understand why they did it over here. But there's enough room. I want to put them in there, have them the same on both sides. Not up here. I just don't like that. So I'll be putting them right in here. I've already Windexed that and cleaned it off. So we're ready to just attach. So I'll get you sit down here. Alright, not drop you off into the water. And I'm going to start with the registration sticker first. There we go. Alright. Get this peeled off. And where I'm putting them on this side is pretty much the same place I have them on the other side. So. There we go. I know, it's crooked. It is what it is, it's on there. Now, the photo. Speedy. Oh. Like this. Oh, it's so much better. Air bubble out. That one went on easier than I thought it would. Alright. Well, there's that one. so much better than that glop of black crap that was on it. So I'll get set up and we'll do the other side. And you can see here on this side, a lot cleaner surface, don't have all the antennas that got on the other side. And yes, another that one antenna is busted and I got to replace it. I've got I'm working on that. It's going to get replaced. So I'm going to do a new VHF. I just haven't decided on which one I'm going to go with. But I'm not in the West Marine. We actually got a West Marine down here in Tulsa, and they're got some stuff on sale right now, and they got a bundle. So I'm going to look into that, and that might be end up what I go with. But I got a pretty good idea what I'm going to go with eventually. But right now, here on the lake, nobody uses VHF, so I'm not in a real big hurry to replace the radio. But it will get replaced. It is on the to-do list. I've got other priorities. Right now, first off, I got to get this registration on here, so let me get you set up. There we go. And again, this side's already been cleaned, Windex, buffered, all that good stuff. All I gotta do is, if I can get this daggone hand to separate, put a 5-year-old in it. Yeah, I know. I got some pinstriping that needs to be redone. Got some fiberglass repair. There she is, ladies and gentlemen. And fully registered and on display per regulation. Now you see something else we've done here. all the teak, this wooden teak. I was on both places and on the gunnel through. We took those off. We got them over to the house. See if they can be salvaged. If they can't be salvaged, then we're going to replace them with something. Don't know if we'll go back with teak. If we can get our hands on teak, we'll use teak. Depending on how expensive it is. And there we are. And of course, I know it's still blank. I haven't fully decided on a name yet. This Bimini, I need to do something with it. The top itself is okay. It's just the hardware. This hardware leaves something to be desired. And what we did the other night was I had to rewire the arch light up here on top, the exterior light for running at night. Noticed that it hasn't been working, so we were trying to run it down and replace it. And I've got LED replacements for everything. And we're running the wiring for that. We actually had all these panels from the arch on the side, and we had I looked like a bomb went off on it. Seriously, it was sad. And just like I said before in a previous video, the wiring on this thing is, I don't even know where to begin. And I've got the wiring diagram in the book, which is extremely helpful. But when you're dealing with something that has been hacked and is butchered, as this thing has been, oh my God. Just to run that clearance slide on top, okay? They had it, the wires come out, and you see them right there. They just kind of hook around, and then went up the arch, came all the way over the arch to this side. And they spliced in this, I don't know what they spliced into, but there was a couple butt connectors there with a couple of leads. And then they took back off and went back up over the arch to about right there. And then they tied in to the overhead light. And off of that, for these LED lights, yeah. And further had a pigtail that ran all the way over to there, and that's where they tied in these LED lights. Well, we eliminated all that horse shit. So now the wire and the power for the top clearance light comes up that post, runs up there, comes over here to where it's supposed to be, and this is where both units tie into it, and there's nothing over here. Now if we need, there's nothing over here. Now if I need something over here later on, then we'll either come back up here or do what I'm supposed to do, and we'll come in from the bottom. And use the proper gauge head, the heavy gauge wire that's supposed to be used. Instead, just in the proper collar code. So like I said, this thing, it's like there's a work in progress, and it's getting there. The AC, like I said, the air conditioning still isn't fully in yet. We're in the mock-up phase. We're mocking it up, trying to decide exactly how we want the unit to fit in there. They were trying, and like I said, the important thing was we actually found the petcock. Because it was starting like, hell, we're going to have this thing hauled out just to find the petcock. Well, I got looking around, pulling mattresses up and panels and stuff. I actually discovered a lot of sucker. And then we found, I'm pretty sure because in its stock configuration, this boat, and according to the build sheet, this boat never had a water maker on it. So there would only be three petcock, sea strainers. There'd be, four. Two for the engines, I count that as one, but two for each of the engines. There'll be one in the back, and I'd been for a generator when it goes back in here. Then the other, other than that, the only other one that should have been on here would have been one for the air conditioning, for the freshwater, the cool the AC. And according to all the people I talked to on the forums, thank you, by the way, you guys have been great. In the literature, in the books, it says it's supposed to be in the engine compartment next to the starboard next to the starboard engine, because the pump itself is mounted on the bulkhead for the engine room, which is right over here. And then the petcock is right there next to the starboard engines, petcock or seacock and strainer. Well, it ain't there, and it was never there. It's a bilge pump there, but the seacock ain't there. So where the hell was it? We got to look and actually go inside, and I'm not going to pull those mattress panels up today, but trust me, you'll see it. But that little cubby hole, as you come down the stairs, and that little cubby hole, that pad in that panel, all the way to the right, you lift that up, and boom, there's big old brass seacock and strainer and hoses and everything, and that's starting to track. So I'm pretty sure that's where the freshwater pump and strainer for the AC was. And there's the wires in there too that take off and head back up to the V-berth in the cabinet where the AC unit was. So I'm pretty sure that's it. Right now we don't have any power through the AC, so then we're back into the electrical side of this thing. Me personally, the way I want to do it, and we're going to have an argument on this, but bottom line is it's my boat. But what we're going to do is we're just going to fall back to the factory diagram, find out what spot on that bus, because it operates off a bus and the fuse panel that AC is supposed to be wired off of, make sure that it's got power to there, and just go back and start from scratch and do it and do it properly. Use proper gauge wire, run it right. If I gotta put plastic conduits in this thing, I'll put plastic conduits in this thing. I ain't got any issue with that. Just to protect the wires, keep it out of water. And then go from there to cabinet. And then the placement of the AC unit itself, we're having an argument, but I know how I want it, and that's how it's going to end up being. So we're getting it figured out. So I'm hoping it shouldn't take too much more, and we'll have air conditioning and heat on this thing. And then the project we dive into after that is probably going to be the fresh water. I got to asking myself, why in the world, why were all these systems taken off of this boat? I mean, it was stripped. It was somebody in the process of retrofit, refit, whatever. Then as we got into it, we got looking around. Sad to say, I wish I'd have known this. I'd probably still bought the boat, but it's starting to look like at one time under this thing took on water. And all those systems, I don't think it sank, like, bloop, bloop, Titanic to the bottom of the bay, whatever. But I think it took on enough water to those systems, because they're low enough in the hull. They got low enough that those systems got submerged, and that's why they were taken out. And that's what we're dealing with. So I know there's some of you out there that would look at something like that and just lose your minds, and you got screwed. Yeah, maybe I did. Maybe I did take one of the shorts on this thing. But also there's this. These are the systems I had planned on going through anyhow. And I needed to learn a what better way to learn than if you got to refit and replace them. I can start from scratch, know what I'm doing, and do it right. And this boat, I can start over with a blank slate. Like I said, this is my classroom. This is the classroom. This is where I'm learning. And I can take that and I can build this to the way I want it. I can use the stuff that's on the market now. That's a lot more cleaner and more efficient and better than what they had back in the day. And don't get me wrong, back in the day when they were building these 10 meters, they they were top of the line. They didn't skimp on the components they put in here. And the same thing I'm doing now. I'm not. No, like I said, I spent the money on the Dometic. Everything of that AC concerning that air conditioning has been Dometic. It ain't been the off-brand crap. It's Dometic. Water systems. I'm talking to this thing. I'm talking to people. I'm seeing what's going on the boats now, and that probably what I use. In my mind, thinking on that is, if I use what's common in the industry now, or then I get out there, the availability of replacement parts. Now, if I go with some cheap ass off brand, something happens and I gotta repair it, I may not be able to find parts for it. But if I'm using the industry standard stuff, the chances of me finding replacement parts out there, repair parts or just a flat replacement unit, are a lot better off. So that's where I'm at. So anyhow, and I promised you guys a look downstairs, so we'll get that done right now. The show's going on with the AC. And then I need to get the cover put on this thing and get back to the house so I can finish my laundry and get ready to head to Washington State tomorrow. Yeah. That's not a bad drop. Pays good, man. I can't complain about the paycheck, so that's wondering. So anyway, that's where we're at. So let's get that done. Get your tour of the boat. We'll start out here. As I said, this is a 10-meter Trojan International. Oh, yeah, that's me. Sorry, my bad. So as you can see, go out here on the dock. Now this Chris Craft here, I believe, is for sale. Well, I wish I'd have known that before I bought mine. I'd have probably bought it. I guess the engines do run. Other than that, it needs a lot of TLC. But man, these Chris Crafts are built like battleships. Anyway, and here's ours. This is a 10-meter Trojan International. I think this is the cruiser. Express cruiser. This is the cruiser. This has got 3 cabin spaces. Just look at that beam. This is a 15-foot berth, and that sucker is 14-foot wide. And as you can see, don't have a lot of room with this thing in the slip. So, yeah, we kind of got to baste her up with butter every time we try to put this sucker in here. Like I said, we took the wood off. Jason's got it back over to the house, seeing if we can save it. I got to get that on West Marine. They've got the repair kit finished from the vinyl and the fiberglass. Get all that repaired before it goes back on. There's the helm. For power, it uses two big old 454 350 Crusaders that run extremely well. Don't get used to this helm. I don't like it. It's going to change. When I get done, my idea is the only thing that's going to remain on this wall down here will be the steering wheel. Everything else is going to get moved up in here somewhere. Like I said, I gotta get one of them vinyl repair kits, go through that, and then we're gonna do something with that helm and beef it up a little bit. It's sprung. It shouldn't be. Oh, I don't know if that's not the right size. But anyway, we'll get that sorted out. That's why we put the cover on it to keep weather out of here. The upholstery. And now we'll head downstairs. Oh, and steep stairs. And here we are. Still in the stairs. There's your sitting area, settee. That's something different's going to happen there. Maybe change the cushions a little bit. There's the head galley. We do have a coffee maker. It does work. I do have Vivor 2-burner ceramic top cooktop to go right here. This is that V berth I was talking about. Well, the third berth I was talking about. The way that it works, you pull that cushion up right there, and it's supposed to be a table for a breakfast nook, but also seconds for a sleeping compartment. That's where Jason's been sleeping. And where we found that seacock and everything at, was underneath this. Pull this pad up, and there's a panel that comes up for access to the bilge, and underneath it, that's where we, back there in that corner, that's where I found that petcock and strainer and all the lines. So now then, for the freshwater tank pump and heater, back in that corner, you see all that? That's where we believe they went. That's where they're going to go now. And on that side, that's just open spaces for storage or panel right now. But right now we're leaving them open. We don't have anything in them because that gives us I can't, but Jason can. He's scrawny enough. He can actually crawl his ass up in there, and we got access to all the backside of the fuse panel and into the helm, so we've got access. We can get to the electrical and do what we've got to do. There's our grill we've been cooking on. This is the head. It's got a full head, sink. Got a stand-up shower, which I gotta get a new fixture for. Got a little portable toilet that we got ready to go, but we ain't been using it. Light work. This is the forward V berth. This is where I've been sleeping. And then this is the cabinet where the AC goes. That's pretty much where we're at. We're in the spot where we're mocking up the cabin, the cabinet. And I think things are going to change. We had a design idea, and I changed it. So yeah, So basically what I want to do is this whole rigmarole right here just kind of come out back level with this and then come over on top of it. Leave this open for my intake and then just I don't have to have a cabinet, but if I can make a series of shelves over here, keep this open, I then use the same concept for forcing the air out both these vents. I think we'll be alright. It'll have to be tweaked or whatnot. Some of these light fixtures are going to have to be replaced because I just don't like them. Only underneath those are deep for enough storage. Mirrors, I'm not exactly crazy about. So I don't know if they're going to stay or not. Anything mud daubers. Oh yeah, the mud daubers ridiculous on this thing, but that's the air conditioning. That's the Dometic. Now the drain. My original thought on the drain was just run it down into the shower sump, but the shower sump is on the other side of the boat. The other option is to run it down to the bilge, but I don't want to do that, so I'm actually thinking about maybe just making a small through. I don't have to haul this thing out to do that. Just make a small through haul just for the drain on that. As I thought about maybe tying it in to the exhaust off of this, but I was like, shit, can't do that because that's always under pressure and just make a bigger mess. So we'll get the drain figured out. I'll probably end up. I'm really not thrilled with the idea of drilling a hole in the hull. I may just run it down to the bilge for the time being and deal with it then. I know. Mold. I know. I hear it. But that may end up what happens for the time being. Because nothing says if it turns into a total, complete, and utter disaster that I can't go back and change it. Because you can see the footprint of the old mermaid unit that was in here, and they were square. These Dometics have got a different footprint. But the Dometics are also supposed to be cooler and more efficient. So that's what I'm going for. And it's heat and air conditioning. I've already got the spouts spun around so it can go up. So, yeah. That's where we're at there. Yeah. So all ain't left for me to do is put the cover on this thing. That's it for me today. Put the cover on this thing and head home. Alright, I appreciate you guys watching along. Any helpful ideas y'all got, I am all for. I got no problem taking constructive criticism. But all I ask, if you're going to throw suggestions, my way, be nice. Just be nice. I mean, as you can see, we're probably in over our heads, but hey, we're getting there. So I'm going to shut this off and get this thing covered and get headed back towards the house. Alright, well, I'll catch you on the next one, and remember, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.